In this video, I'm going to show you guys a quick and easy tarp shelter using all the knots and hitches I showed you in the previous video, which if you haven't, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. And for this tarp shelter, you're going to need three things. Number one is some paracord or rope to tie it down. Number two is a knife or axe to cut your paracord with. Number three is a tarp. So when you guys are going to find a place for your tarp shelter, you're going to want to find two trees in which your tarp can fit in between. As you can see, mine fits pretty well in between these two trees. And for more of a safety reason, you're gonna take a quick look around just to see if there's any dead trees around you. If there is, you might want to find a new spot, just because these dead trees can cause a safety hazard. First thing you guys are want to do is you're gonna tie a rope all the way across and make it straight. So when you guys find the right spot that you need or want, you're gonna take the tree that you want and kind of think of where you want it, how high you want your tarp shelter to be. If you want it to be above you, you might risk wind getting into it, so you're going to look at the tarp you have. If it's a shorter or more narrow one, you're going to want to put it lower. In my case, I'm going to put it about shoulder to mid-chest height. And for the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to tie a timber hitch. This is the first one that you're going to want to do when securing your main line across. But let's say you already have like a cut piece of paracord, you don't have a full roll like I do, and you need to connect two ropes just to reach all the way down. You're gonna tie the square knot. So whenever you have paracord, you're gonna want to take a lighter and burn these or melt these edges just to keep the white inner part of the line from pulling out. Once you're in your paracord around the tree, you're gonna notice, how do I tie this? First, you're gonna get it level, and then you're gonna tie a trucker stitch. But with the trucker stitch, you need a loop. So mark the general area you want that trucker stitch to be. I'm gonna choose somewhere right here. In the spot that you marked, you can create the slip knot. Now that you have a slip knot, you're gonna bring this around. You have your fixed loop, and now you're gonna tie your trucker stitch. Trucker stitch. Said earlier, with the trucker stitch, you can tighten how much you need. Now you just tie it. And with the trucker stitch, you're gonna need to pinch the loop just to keep it from undoing itself. Okay, now you have your trucker stitch, and this is now pretty tight. If you want, you could always tighten it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a match and burn that frayed end, because having frayed ends aren't very good. I know, because I've already had a few knots untie with the frayed ends, because the frayed ends allow it to slip out much easier. Okay, now you have a decent level rope tied across the trees. Now what we're gonna want to do is take your tarp and just throw it over your line. Kind of hard with one person. Okay, so as I said earlier, if you have a more narrow tarp, it's gonna be lifted off the floor a little bit, which in this case mine is a little bit, but that's alright for now, just because I'm showing you guys how to do it. I ain't gonna sleep in one of these. You're gonna need 4 sticks just to act as stakes, and you're just gonna extend this out and stick it in the floor pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead and get the 4 sticks that I'm gonna need for each corner. I got some sticks for each corner. Now what I'm gonna use is a grommet hitch. A grommet hitch is specifically made for fixed loops or a tarp ring, and it's just to keep the line from coming out, or just to secure your line to your tarp. Have your grommet. What you're now gonna want to do is you're gonna pull this out like a foot, or you're gonna pull this out till your tarp is somewhat straight, but still even on the other side. But you're not gonna want to, when you secure this down, you're not gonna want to tighten it too much. Otherwise, it's gonna be uneven, or it's gonna pull the other side out and make it harder. Which you could do it for the other two, or the last one would probably be the best. And then you're gonna take a stick, put it in the floor as a stake, and when you do this, I'll stick it at an angle. You see how I have it at an angle here? Because what's it gonna do? If it's gonna be pulling on your tarp, how the stick acts is more is it's just keeping it there, and with more leverage, it helps it stay in one place. So you're gonna need about a foot of rope, or you take about a foot of rope, and you're gonna tie a clove hitch. Okay, I went ahead and tied my clove hitch, and now I'm just gonna go around my shelter and tying each stake. And you guys are going to want to do the opposite side of the first one you tied. So you're not going to go to the back, because when tying it, you're just going to pull your tarp back, and it's going to create an uneven tarp or shelter. And there you have it, a makeshift tarp shelter. So this is just temporary shelter. And how I made it, mine's not very good, but it'll do for a night. You're gonna probably want it more straight just to help water roll off easier. And when you're tight, you might need to do it a little bit lower, so it's, less space on the ground. And if you have enough paracord, you're gonna tie even a few more stakes, like in the middle or anywhere, just for easier for the wind to be kept out. But there you have it, a makeshift tarp shelter. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and if you're curious about the kind of knots I use, check out the video that I'll leave in the description, where I go over every single knot and hitch I use in this video and more.